Well, yeah, like that's. I mean, they knew what they were doing. They just hadn't found a way to capitalize on it. They didn't have a ad revenue source other than going and doing corn, and so which that's I think that's a whole different level. And I think OnlyFans is some of it can be, but how many how much OnlyFans do you go on? But sure you have. Sure. Yeah, they're not making any money. Maybe. I mean, but I think there is definitely a ad source for the majority of people that would like to do that. I saw a girl that goes fishing in a bikini and she makes like $300,000 a month or something like that. And it's not that she's not, I don't want to say she's ugly because she wasn't ugly, but she wasn't like, if you looked at her and you saw her in a bar, she wouldn't be your first choice. Like, I don't want to say she was unattractive at all, but she definitely had a hot friend. Yeah, yeah. Like she was the one that somebody was being a good wingman for, taking one for the team. No, I brought a shot. I started drinking. No, I should have. Like there were several occasions. Like my sister was here from Montana, and she's like, "Do you want to go get some margaritas?" I'm like, "No, I got to go back to work." Oh, I decided I better shake this up here because doing it down here looks funny. Yeah, mine's not gross. Mine's just healthy. The world needs more bubbles. Um, well, I'm just going to finish my shout out. Here's to all the construction workers trying to get shit done before the snow flies. They're desperately working crazy hours trying to get my street done so we can park in our garage again and our driveway. Um, cheers to you guys. That's a protein shake. You ever had these? They're delicious. Like, yes. Oh, oh, well, then you probably wouldn't like these. Like, that's what protein powder is. Like, it's whey, which is dairy. We don't live in a third world country. The protein powder is not crickets. It's not. It's way. That's you can read all the articles you want. It's not true. It's whey. I can look at the ingredients here and nowhere does it say mealworms. Sure. So so you're calling him the homie, but he just had a type. Oh yeah, so you're comparing his wife to green beans. Saw that. That was fantastic. Yeah, like he's not. I don't think he's nearly as bad as what everybody paints him out to be. Like it's an image. Like so. Well, I don't want to jump into that just yet, but yes, like I was watching Reddit, reading an article earlier, and there was a black guy, and they were interviewing, asking who he was going to vote for, and he goes, "If you're a true patriot, there's only one person you're voting for, and that's Donald Trump." And he started listing reasons. He's like, the only time he became racist was when he joined the Republican Party to run for president. He goes, he's the first racist that's gotten an NCAAP award. Yeah. But mhm. Yep. Well, I think the first one was kind of like I don't know. I think he just got tired of the shit that's in the office. And I think he got tired of his businesses getting screwed. That's you again. Can't be me this time. Oh. Um, so another thing that I has it's kind of been boggling my mind. It's put me in a glass case of emotion. Where did Theo Vaughn come from? But dude, he had Trump's VP. What is it, Vance? He had him on his show. He's had Neil deGrasse Tyson on his show. I'm pretty sure he had Robert F. Kennedy or RFK on his show. Like, how in the fuck is this motherfucker getting all these people on his show? But how is it popular? Tell me the name of his podcast. Tell me where to find his podcast. Just guessing, right? Because you've never thought to look it up one time. Okay? Yep. Fair enough. You've never heard of the Joe Rogan Experience? Gotcha. Bad friends. You, there should have been three on that list that you were able to name for podcasts. I was like, and Bad Friends with Bobby Lee and Andrew, the redhead guy who makes all the Asian makes fun of Bobby Lee like the whole show. He's funny, and I'm surprised you don't really resonate with Bobby Lee because he had. You should watch episodes where he talks about Stardew Valley. Like he has played thousands of hours of Stardew Valley. What's her nickname for him? Like the Sleepy Panda? Yeah. And maybe I just watch more clips, but it's mhm. Really. That's a good show. Before we continue, I have to figure out why your volume's not working. Can you say something? There we go. Now it's working. No, I unfortunately can't see my chat either because I don't have the second monitor right now.
Oh, I feel bad that happened, but I feel like we were getting some good content too. Like, damn.
All right, mine's up and running. I just don't have access to the chat. So if somebody is listening and chatting, you're better off to go to YouTube.
I actually had the chat open.
Actually, I can. I have both my computers hooked up.
Jesus. So you haven't given one to the boys yet?
No, one, I needed to make sure that I got all the stuff I needed off of it.
Fair.
But then I'm going to take it in and get it upgraded too.
Yeah, why don't you make it a Christmas present?
Well, they know that they're getting it.
Well, you can make it a Christmas present because Santa obviously gives them presents, but make it a Christmas present from you. But do what I did for my nephews: get them a gaming desk, which they're like $200, right, for like a really fancy one. Get like RGB strips, put it all over that bitch because the kids love it, right? Those are like $10 a pop. They're fucking cheap as shit. And just make them a little gaming session, like a section of the basement for the computer.
You know I already have all that stuff already, right?
Yeah, well then you're not spending literally any money. You're doing something super badass, and your kids are going to wake up in the morning and you'll like show them the setup and they'll fucking shit themselves.
Yeah. Maybe. We'll see.
That's just that's all I'm saying. I think it's a cool little plan. Something cool that you could do that like make them shit their small brains out, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all very interesting, and I love podcasts. I love stupid, funny podcasts. I do think that, I couldn't tell you her name, but the Hawk Tuah girl, I do think she's actually really funny. I don't know
Haley something.
Haley. It's not Haley Williams because that's the lead singer for Paramore, but she's funny. Like, people, 5 seconds of fame and they run with it. She did run with it. She was really smart about it. I think she got an agent right away. Like, she was really smart about it. And then we get it, like, they get her on podcasts and stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, this lady's actually really fucking funny.
Yeah.
So
you're not funny if you say something like that on camera.
that's kind of true too, and like deliver it the way she did.
Yeah.
Like, she nailed it.
Well, what's also really funny is how far Hawk Tuah and Spit on That Thing has gone. My kids. Well, so first of all, they were watching a Minecraft video, and the guy running the Minecraft video was talking about the Hawk Tuah podcast and how he wanted to be a guest on it, and that was his goal. And then they were talking, I don't remember what we were doing, but they're like, Hawk Tuah and Spit on That Thing. And I was like, do you know what that means? You shouldn't be saying that.
And they probably don't.
And they don't. And they're like, why? What does it mean? I'm like, it's when you spit on a boy's private parts. They're like, oh. Jack, my oldest goes, they were chanting it on the bus when we were going on our field trip.
Because kids don't know.
It's like, but the teachers and like the parents on the bus had to have known.
That's true too.
And they didn't stop them.
I like to think that in that scenario too, as an educator, like if you try to put a stop to certain things, especially when the kids don't know what those things are, you're only going to make them want to do it more.
Well, that, and then you're going to get the questions. Why can't we say that?
Yeah.
Why? What does it mean?
Exactly. So it's kind of better.
I told my wife.
It's kind of better just to get it out of the way. Let them, because they're kids. Their attention spans are 10 fucking seconds. Let them fucking get it out. Because they don't know. You won't break the innocence, and then move on. You know?
Yeah.
And TikTok and YouTube Shorts and all this shit, I mean, it's ruining attention spans for kids, which was already bad to begin with. Like, I know mine was atrocious. I don't think I would be a functioning member of society if TikTok came out when I was a kid.
Well, but I think that's on the parents to restrict the amount of use you have for it.
See, that's the thing. I had no restriction on the internet when I was a kid.
Well, that's because the internet was still coming out when you were a kid.
Correct. My parents didn't know, you know, and by the time they went to try and moderate me, I'd kind of moved past all the weird things, and I was just on YouTube. And in my, it was like a thing. It was like,
you were still fucking watching anime, so they knew you were a fucking
anime's
weirdo.
not weird. Anime's super normal now, actually.
Anime is not normal at all. You just said how weird it was 2 podcasts ago when you went to the ramen store and you were weirded out by a bunch of fucking anime people.
Anime can be weird, and their names are weebs. They're called weebs.
Anime, I don't fucking care what their names are. They're fucking weirdos.
But anime is also badass.
It's not.
Dragon Ball Z.
Good.
Badass.
It's good.
It's badass.
It's way, way too fucking long for anything to happen.
Well, yeah, but it's still badass.
Like, Dragon Ball Z has like 80 episodes. I think it's actually 120 something. that could realistically be condensed down into 40 episodes easily.
You know they did that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z Kai, and I hated it.
Oh, I didn't know that they actually condensed it down.
Yeah, no, they did. Like, to be released, it was like in maybe the early 2010s. Because Dragon Ball Z, like, the end of the Buu saga was well before I was even in school. Like, Dragon Ball Z's old as shit. So old,
Yeah, I
the
know.
creator died, like, from old age.
Yeah.
They condensed it. I do think, I know I'm going to get shit for it. I love the source material. I think Dragon Ball Z is amazing. Dragon Ball Z Abridged, which is on YouTube, right? It was a fan thing where they voiced over the characters and made it funnier, is fucking amazing.
Nice.
It's like, and it's the kind of humor that you would appreciate. And it condenses the storylines. Like the Frieza saga is like 3 episodes. Like, it's fucking awesome. But the like allowing creators to do that, I thought was really cool too.
Yeah.
But anime's not. Okay, anime is weird. It's super weird.
Thank you.
But there's like levels to it. There's like really weird stuff. I don't watch the really weird stuff. I watch the mainstream stuff. And even then, I haven't watched anime since My Hero Academia season 3. So it's been.
I'm gonna say that's a lie.
Why?
I bet you that if we went on your browser history, that there's some anime on there.
There's not.
I am willing to bet that if we look through your browser history, if you haven't cleared it, somewhere there is some hentai that you watch.
Definitely not. But my browser history has been cleared. Well, not the normal one. Are we talking on my phone or on my computer? Because you're not going to get anything on my computer besides, like, Nexus Mod and...
Yeah, I know. It's on your phone. You can't take your... Well, I suppose you could take your computer to the bathroom with you, but...
It's weird. Also, my cat shredded a claw.
Shredded or shedded?
Shedded. Because they have claw caps. Because the claws keep growing, so they come off as, like, little sheets. No. Doesn't mean I'm going to show you my browser history, but... No. Although there is an anime that I've been seeing TikToks on that I'm kind of interested in. Oh, no, Jujutsu Kaisen. I did watch Jujutsu Kaisen with Egg, and that was like maybe a year ago. That's not a weird one. That's a normal one.
There's no such thing as a normal one.
There definitely is.
No.
Yeah, there is. My
They're all
Hero,
fucking...
My Hero Academia is the prime example of a normal anime.
Okay. Tell me the plot behind... Just give me a 30-second elevator pitch on My Hero Academia.
It is about a kid living in a world of superheroes with no superpowers. He meets the world's #1 superhero, and he finds out that the world's #1 superhero has a superpower to give his power to him. It's like an inheritance. And it's about him becoming the world's #1 superhero. That's it.
That's weird.
How is that weird? That's like every comic book ever. Like, what are you talking about?
That's no comic books.
How, in what way is that weird?
How many superhero stuff do you know where everybody has a superpower?
Marvel.
Not everybody has a superpower in Marvel.
Everyone
there are
important.
millions and billions of civilians.
No, because there are millions and billions of mutants. You gotta remember Marvel has mutants. And DC has metahumans.
Multiverse.
DC has metahumans.
That's actually Marvel as well, isn't it?
No. DC's metahumans.
Yeah, it is.
Nope. Think about it.
No. Oh, that's Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where they have metahumans.
I mean, I'm sure that it's a concept they've used in the past, but metahumans
no,
are...
it's a TV show.
I mean...
Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a TV show, and they have metahumans in that.
It's just the descriptor for, like, a person with powers. And DC coined metahumans in the 90s, I think, when Marvel was coming out with mutants. DC came out with metahumans. Flash is a metahuman, like all of that. Yeah. Okay, a great one that came out a couple years ago that there was a live action adaptation that was super good. Well, actually, it really wasn't super good because Japanese filmmakers aren't great. But Zombie 100 is about a dude who's living a normal everyday life in Japan, and he hates it because he's like working like at an office and it's dreary and it's boring. And he's about to kill himself, and then the zombie apocalypse happens. And so when that happens, he writes out a bucket list of shit he wants to do before he dies, because zombies everywhere, right? Like, oh fuck, well let me go figure out what I want to do with my life. And then he does those things. He meets other survivors, they get in an RV and he does those things, and then the show ends.
That's kind of a weird time to start a bucket list.
It's the perfect time to start a bucket list. You're gonna die. Your chance of death is super high.
Yeah, but like with the zombie apocalypse going on, all the things that you would want to do would be a lot harder to do.
And he still does them. Well, not all of them, but like going camping with your friends or visit the aquarium. He does all those things.
Though that's his bucket list?
Yeah. No, I mean, there's better stuff, but like that's part of it, you know? That's a normal thing. We don't need to talk about High School of the Dead. Korn. I know you're watching. We don't got to talk about that. Sword Art Online started the genre of being stuck in a video game. That's pretty normal now. And it didn't get weird. It didn't get pervy. Like, it's just guy puts on headset, absorbs you into the video game, gets stuck in the video game, fights his way out of the video game, is the hero. The day is saved. Welcome back to the real world.
There was that really funny one where like the kid beat. It was PETA from the Hunger Games.
Josh Hutcherson? No. Yeah, Josh Hutcherson?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
He was obsessed with this game. Like, it's supposed to be older, but he kept going and renting this game, which made no sense. Like, why wouldn't you just fucking buy the game if you go keep renting it? But he finally beat it, and because he beat this game, it like came to life because they were searching for somebody to figure out how to beat it. And like the girl in the movie, and it's a fucking comedy because like at one point he's sitting there like after he beats the game, the girl on the video game is like somewhat attractive, and he's sitting there beating off to her, and then she appears.
It's awesome. I've never seen that, but that sounds awesome.
It was a good one. But I do enjoy that genre of style, like Ready Player One. Was a great one. There was a one a few years back where the kid, you could like take control of prisoners.
Gamer.
And they were in like a Gamer. That's right.
One of my
that was
favorites. Oh my god, yes.
It was Gerard Butler.
It was Gerard Butler, yeah.
Yeah. Because then he ended up like not controlling him and letting him just go fucking kill
And
people.
he just went fucking ham and started tearing him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, so Sword Art Online came out maybe 2010, and just from there, a plethora of other animes came out in the same genre. Now, granted, that does not mean they're not weird. There's plenty of them that are fucking weird. That's Japanese culture. Japanese culture can be very icky and weird. But there are plenty that are not weird, that are actually really cool. Not all anime is weird, but a lot of it is. And I'll give you that one. But not all of it. There's some pretty good stuff out there.
And the thing that most kids who, when I was growing up, watched anime were fucking weird.
Oh, no, and I get that. The same for me when I was growing up. They were weird. Nowadays, I think it's more prominent, more prevalent.
And didn't you watch anime growing up?
I did, but I didn't tell anyone I did.
Oh, so you were a closet anime watcher.
Yeah, there's a difference. Like, I'd watch it, but I wouldn't talk about it. Like, because I knew it would get me, like, beat up. You know what I mean? Like... Well,
yeah.
But I still did. I mean, when I could.
You were a sissy enough playing soccer that you couldn't go around, like, also talking about that. That would have been...
Not only was I in soccer, I was in ROTC. I was not giving myself any favors, so...
Yeah.
I was setting myself up for failure, really, but...
Although, I will say, one of my favorite teachers that we had in school was our ROTC instructor.
No, they were active duty. They're vets. Like, of course they're gonna be cool as shit.
Did I ever tell you about that
I
guy?
don't think so.
I don't know if I should say his name.
No, I wouldn't.
But he was a master sergeant,
Okay.
and he had study hall for me. I think it was my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was right after lunch. Like, we had lunch 4th period and study hall 5th period. So obviously it was senior year. We fucking didn't give a shit. I had done enough in school to where I didn't have to really apply myself senior year.
Perfect.
And he didn't care. And basically, as long as I showed up before the end of class, he was cool. And we'd sit and talk, you know. He liked white Zin Gatorades,
Never heard of
which
that.
I thought was a little odd.
But okay.
We talked about alcohol, but just called it Gatorade. So, like, what are you gonna do this weekend? I was like, I'm gonna probably go drink a bunch of Gatorade. It's like,
So it's cool as fuck. Like,
yeah. So he was a cool dude. And one of the first times, and this is how I got him to really enjoy me and why he let us do whatever we wanted. Because, well, the first times we came in, I missed class completely. Missed to study hall. And then you get, like, the next day you get an attendance slip. And so you have to go in and get that signed, or you get detention for skipping class.
okay.
And so I waited until I had his class that day, and I showed up, and I was like, hey, you know, you marked me absent yesterday. And he goes, well, you weren't here. I goes, what was this important thing you needed to do? And I was like, I was training, sir. And he was walking away from me because he wasn't happy, and he goes, turns around, he goes, what kind of training? And I did it. I don't know if you've ever seen Stripes.
Yeah.
I go, offer me training, sir. Acceptable. Signed my sheet. Never had an issue with him ever after that again.
He man checked you. He was like, let's see if this dude's a pussy or not. And he was like, go through with it then. If you're gonna do this, go through with it. And you did. And he's just like, all right, fuck it. I like this kid.
He didn't care what I did the rest of the year. He was, like I said, one of the cool. And I feel bad for those kind of guys, because you know the kind of people that they were dealing with in ROTC.
Ugh.
Like you, fucking weebs, talking about fucking. That was probably why you joined ROTC, was so you go in and talk to all the other weebs about fucking anime, wasn't it?
No, actually, the person I talked to about anime
You did, didn't you?
was my older brother.
Oh, that makes sense.
And we still, sometimes, neither of us really watch it anymore, but his kids do. And so he'll text me and be like, hey, is this anime cool for them to watch? And I'll research it and be like, no, like, it's too weird or too gross. Like, don't let him do that. Or he'll be like, is this one good? And I'm like, oh yeah, like, that's perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable. Because kids watch anime now. They do.
Yeah. Oh, I know. My kids watch it. That's fucking annoying.
Demon Slayer's pretty good. You might like that.
That's what they watch.
It's a bunch of samurais hunting demons. Like, there's no other way to explain it. They're monsters, and samurais, like, all the colors and fire and stuff isn't real. The creator of it said it
like
wasn't
the
real.
one dude's sister's a fucking demon or zombie or something, and fucking
Yeah, she
I don't
is.
know, it's fucking
It gets
weird.
a little sexy, and that's what makes me uncomfortable. But you don't see no nipples, so I guess that's nice.
Yeah. So then it's not even worth watching.
Well, I mean, it has a good ending. It's over already. Like, the manga's over, so the anime is being adapted. Good ending. Wholesome. Out of everything they could watch, that one's acceptable.
Wholesome?
It's got a wholesome ending.
Wholesome?
Yeah. It's just a good story.
If you say so.
But you can do more with an anime fantasy-wise than you can do with, like, shows and stuff.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, you can do stuff more with cartoons, and
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Vox Mafia is...
What is it?
Vox Mafia.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about.
Vox Machina.
Vox Machina. Whatever. Mafia sounds fucking cooler anyway.
Great
if anything,
show.
I just improved the fucking name.
Great show. Which is a show written about somebody's D&D campaign.
I'm aware of what it
I
is.
could get behind that. I think that's really cool. I think it's the first of its kind, and it's not going to be the last at all.
No, but they did set the bar really high, so
They
like there's
fucking
going to
did.
be a lot of failures behind it.
They really did set the bar super high.
So that's kind of a hard part. Like, you know,
Well, and one of the most popular D&D campaigns that's live streamed right now, they'll never be able to make into a show because it's based off Harry Potter. It's a Harry Potter campaign.
Oh.
So like that licensing that'll never happen.
well, there's books like that too. You know, fan fiction books.
Yeah, but you can't make money off the source material.
Yeah.
So it won't happen. Like 50 Shades of Grey. You know what that was a fan fiction of?
Twilight.
Yes. So it's possible, but when the mechanics of the world are so ingrained into the actual like lore of the show, then it's almost impossible.
You know, I find that kind of weird though, because like I could understand, like, it would be so easy to just change the names of things and then how can you prove that it's a copy of it?
It's what you can prove that it's not. It's complicated. I don't know. There's so much because obviously wands and wizards and stuff that's not copyrighted.
Exactly.
But it's certain. It's so I've watched some episodes of it in the show. There's a lot of descriptors and a lot of things that are Hogwarts, that are the houses, that are and you can change them. But then at that point, it kind of just feels like a cheap copy.
It is.
Well, but that's not the point of the show. The show is for these people who are really into this lore, like this world, got to play characters in that world and had a great time with them. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
The whole point wasn't to make like a ton of money.
That, and I don't know why nobody like cares about the character flaw or the massive flaws in Harry Potter.
I can tell you exactly why. So,
Why?
Harry Potter. All right, let me give you a great example. In Harry Potter, they can teleport.
Yep.
They can operate at will for very little cost. They can. Would you ever send a text message? Or no, okay, let's bring it back. Would you ever send a letter to somebody if you could just teleport to them and it was urgent?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Like if it's an urgent matter,
When's the last time you called somebody instead of sending them a text message?
today.
You called them instead of sending a text message?
Today.
Who was it?
My girlfriend.
Okay, different story.
Okay, and I call people for work all the time instead of sending emails or text messages.
Is it long stuff you have to tell them or something quick?
Long stuff and urgent.
Exactly. Most of the communications that you have that are not work related are not urgent and are quick. That's why people text message. That's why you text them versus calling them.
Let's talk about the fact that text messaging doesn't exist in Harry Potter yet, right? Neither does email. The internet doesn't exist yet. But they still send letters through owls, which is ass overall. Out of all the stuff they have available,
100%. If you can teleport, why wouldn't you just teleport a fucking letter there instead of having an owl take it?
it's not about convenience. It's about world building and the whimsy of it, and just so magical and great and cool. I have owls deliver letters, and it builds a world with flaws that's fucking awesome. That's the whole point.
You're not even talking about the giant flaws from Harry Potter.
I'm just talking about the flaws from the world building. I mean, the Half-Blood Prince was so long because she was filling plot holes. She wasn't an amazing, like, super great, world-renowned author when she wrote the books. She was just a lady that was homeless, that had a good idea, and she ran with it.
No. So, what do you think is the biggest plot hole in Harry Potter?
What do you think it is? Let me see if I can plug it, actually.
Oh, I know 100% what it is.
What is it?
I don't remember which movie it is, but there's a movie where Hermione has the ability to travel back in time.
The Time Turner.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it right there. There's a time turner. Why does nobody go back and not allow fucking Voldemort to do his shit?
So the books that came out after Harry Potter, called the Cursed, called the Cursed
so we
Child,
had to have more stuff to explain it.
called the Cursed Child, go into that specifically into that and explain it. I mean, say what you want, but she patched the hole.
Okay. How about the fact that they talk about how the Weasleys are these super poor people?
I mean, they talk about
When
the
they're
Weasleys being poor, but they're not super poor.
They're poor people.
They're
And, like, they barely have enough food for the family.
they always have
and
enough food.
They're fucking wizards. They can go shoot, and there's food.
It's not about the Weasleys being poor. It's about the Weasleys being humble. To other people, the Weasleys are poor. So let me give you the great example. Draco Malfoy, his bloodline is shorter than the bloodline of Ron Weasley, where they pull their prestige from, right? The Malfoy's tree is shorter than the Weasley tree. The Weasleys have been around for fucking ever. Ron is a very powerful wizard. He's just an idiot. They're like, Ron's an idiot, super strong. Hermione's super smart, super weak, and Harry's in the middle, right? It's all about control, focus, and power, and all this stuff. They did that to make the Weasleys relatable. She did that to make the Weasleys relatable, and to make them like homely. Like, they're just people. They're fucking.
I get
people.
that you can give me all these reasons.
They're good reasons.
They're bullshit.
It's a book about wizards, Matt. Like, it's all bullshit.
Exactly. They're fucking wizards. They could do whatever they want. And they live in this fucking...
Harry could have solved all his problems with a Glock 19. Like, it's about the story and the whimsy of it. It's fucking awesome because it's wizards.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
And hundreds of thousands of people agree with me.
Hundreds of millions.
Yeah. It's awesome because of the whimsy of it and the story. Like, my favorite thing is the fact that Harry isn't good at everything.
What isn't he good at?
A lot of things. He's not good at potions. He's not good at curses. He's not good at charms. He's good at Quidditch. He is good at 2 charms. And he is just an asshole. He's a stubborn asshole. And that is it. He can ride a broom kind of good, and he can cast 2 charms really good. And that is his whole fucking thing. And you see him fail a lot. Like, he needs everyone's help to get through, especially, like the Goblet of Fire. He needs Neville's help to be able to breathe underwater. He cannot figure it out. Because he doesn't know fuck all about herbology. Like, that's why Hermione and Ron are there. Ron's the power, Hermione's the brains, Harry's just the mode of execution. And that's why I like it. Because it's just simple.
It's not, but okay.
It is. He's just a kid. And the whole time, he's just a fucking kid. And of course, there's plot holes. Like, come on. Like, it's just, yeah. I think it's awesome. I think it's a good series. I think you can have fun with it if you kind of stop.
I think it's weird how that has become so popular compared to Percy Jackson.
Oh, I am 100%.
That story.
I'm 100% more Percy Jackson than Harry Potter.
Well, yeah, but why hasn't Percy Jackson, like, why didn't it take off? Like, why haven't they made all the movies? Like,
it did.
I suppose they've started doing the show now.
It did take off, literally, like, in the books-wise. Percy Jackson has more books than Harry Potter does. Rick Riordan has released plethoras of books from different mythologies, different characters. He's got gay characters, black characters. Like, he's been very inclusive, very great writer in a non-pandering way. It's awesome. But it just, I don't know. I don't have a reason for you why it didn't take off.
They did start the show now, and the show has followed the books somewhat close.
I need to watch the show. I haven't watched it yet.
And it's been good.
Yeah, I mean, It's a good story, and it's pretty easy to follow. Like, overall, the ending to Percy Jackson is probably one of the most baller endings to any series I've ever read.
Do you think the day and age of big blockbuster movies is gone?
Maybe. I don't know. When's the last big blockbuster you remember? I haven't been to a movie premiere in
Wolverine and Deadpool.
That's a good example. That was packed to the fucking roof.
Yeah. But I think that's kind of riding on coattails of previous stuff.
Yeah, an original movie that's come out that has packed the audience. I mean,
everything just comes out to streaming now. Like, nobody goes and everything has transitioned to like series, because the stories, like, you watch a movie now and you've got 2 hours to try and get in a story.
Yeah.
And most people are like, fuck you, I need a lot more than this.
I think that's better.
Like, it's way better. It's like reading a comic book versus reading a fucking novel.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I
love it. I love that we're moving that way.
I do too. You lose a lot more with that, though. You either have to go animated because they don't have the budgets. I mean, they can't make this stuff in these huge blockbuster, blow it out of the water, like House of Dragons. Like, I don't think that kind of stuff is going to be around for very long, because the cost of making it versus the return that you're going to get from streaming it just isn't going to be there.
That's fair. That is fair. It's going to be hard to maintain. Or technology catches up to the point where it's not super hard to maintain,
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope it happens for the Red Rising season alone.
Maybe. You haven't even finished the books. You don't get to say anything.
I finished the main series like 5 years before you did. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you finished the first 3. There's been 3 more since then.
And there's going to be a 4th.
Yeah. Have you, can you name all 6 of the books in the trilogy?
Red Rising, Golden Sun, Morning Star, Iron Gold. I know Red God's going to be the last one. Dark Age is the second to last one.
Dark Age is the second in the series, in the second trilogy.
Lightbringer's the second to last one.
Yep.
I know the series. It's just...
Well, we were at Barnes & Noble tonight, and I always go look. And they've actually, at our Barnes & Noble here, they have like a little story, and Darrow is a red in a dystopian society, and, kind of give, like, they push it at Barnes & Noble. I was sitting there looking, and they only had 5 of the books. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what fucking book is missing? And I sat there for fucking 5 minutes to find them, like, they don't have Dark Age out here.
No. I think I'm going to have to read them. Read them. Because when I listen to them, I lose track, and then I have to rewind, and it's just like a whole thing. I don't know how you listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to read.
But it also helps that I work from home, and I sit and stare at a computer screen doing stuff that doesn't... I have to think, but I don't have to think a ton.
Yeah. I think I need to, like, set aside maybe like an hour a night to read a book, and it just be rereading the last 4. It'll be alright. Especially with
they're amazing.
The scenes you've described to me, like, I want to read it. I haven't read anything else. I've been rereading a lot. Like, I've been going through books that I haven't, touched in a while, and there's lit RPGs that I really liked back in the day that have, when I first got into the genre, and then I read them again, I listened to them again, and I'm like, this is ass. Like, these books suck. I think I like them so much because they were the first of their kind, and then now so many other good ones have come out that I'm not as into it.
I will say, reading Red Rising, like, I try to listen to other stuff. Like, I've tried to listen. I did enjoy The Fourth Wing. Like, it's nowhere near on the same level.
Yeah. I also did enjoy The Fourth Wing. It was good.
We've talked about this plenty on the podcast before. Like, the lack of character development, the
increase of horniness.
Yeah, the spicy scenes really...
Not my thing. But for some people it is.
No. Yeah, which is totally fine. Like, But just I just love the Red Rising series. Like I'm gonna probably start listening to it again here.
And I told you at the beginning, it was fucking dope.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I tried to go back and listen to, I had read the Gunslinger by Stephen King. I really liked it when I was growing up.
Stephen King's just a hard read a lot of the times.
But, well, it was, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good story, but I don't know.
Not the same.
I've read books before too, right?
I don't believe you.
Before me and my wife got married, I was working at a gas station.
Oh, that's right. To save up for the wedding.
Yeah, to save up for the wedding. And all I could do in there was read. So I read like 15 books in like 6 months working there.
I guess that makes sense.
I read all the... Is it Angels? No, Da Vinci Code books. Yeah, Angels and Demons was the second one of the series.
That's my grandpa's favorite book.
They were good. They weren't amazing.
That's a one-time read kind of book, though.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the Catholic Church anyway, and then they definitely don't paint them in a good light in those books either. So
true. I still think you would love He Who Fights with Monsters.
Yeah, you've said that.
I'd said that about Red Rising, but that is the only book that I've read that is comparable, but it's still not as good. I'll give you that. Like, it's still, the story isn't as good. It's way longer. There's 10 books out, each with like 30 hours. Like, it's way fucking longer, but it's not as good. Absolutely.
So, we are at time. Do you want to do something we've never done just to end the podcast today?
I would love to.
I have.
Oh, okay.
You want to... I'll open it and put it up on the screen for you to look at as I open them.
This gave me an immediate rush of dopamine. Yes, please.
You can tell me all the names of the Pokemon.
All right. I don't know. I don't really know the new generations, like the last two. So we'll see if I know them.
Well, this is Scarlet Violet, Stellar Crown.
I probably won't know their names.
And just to tell everybody so they know, I don't know how many cards to put to the back, so I just do it like this.
All right, Comfey. I know Comfey. Fairy type. I fucking hate them because they're good against Dragon. Choodle. Also ass. Hate him. Just a fucking gay turtle. Wooloo. Super cute. Super cuddly. Really useless. Finian. Super cool. Fish Pokemon. Love it. Live it. Laugh it. Crabdominable. I don't really know who that is. I've seen him. Not a huge. Don't really hate them because they're ice already.
Is that too blurry coming that close?
Perfect. Glass trumpet, whatever that means. That sounds like an awful instrument to play. Talonflame, good Pokemon. It's one of the fucking just starter birds you get all the time. Oh shit, that's fucking Mewtwo. You know who Mewtwo is, like, Jesus.
I do. That's actually, I think, a good card.
I think that you literally drew an actual good card.
It's a reverse hollow.
I don't know what that means, but that might be an actual, like, good card.
Oh, we're not done either. Oh, yeah. Well, we should be, because this was the hollow.
Oh, Buffalo. All right.
So a reverse hollow, I've come to learn, is a hollow is when they've got the shiny on the outside. A reverse hollow is when the shiny is on the inside and the outside is plain.
So what? Can you show me the picture of Mewtwo again?
Here, I'll just scan it into my cards.
Oh, you have that?
Yeah, it's a free app.
Because that one might be worth $5.
It's worth 11 cents.
Oh, well, Mewtwo's still fucking dope as shit.
It looks cool.
It does look cool. Your son would probably like it.
Well, my son pulled a Mewtwo from a pack, and it was worth like fucking $90.
Oh, Jesus.
and I sent it to a guy I know that is really into Pokemon cards. Like he's got like sealed collections and shit. And he's like, "Oh, that's awesome." And apparently he pulled one like 2 days later, but had somebody ask to buy his, and he's like, "I know somebody else," and this other guy offered to buy my son's for $100.
Fuck yeah.
He told him, "Fuck off."
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Not
kind
in
of
it
cool.
not in it for the short term.
I just use that to buy more packs. Like, no?
More packs to try and pull that card again.
I guess that's fair. Or a better card.
Yeah.
If it's your hobby, like it's all about the amount of enjoyment you get from it, right? Like the time.
Exactly.
So if he gets more enjoyment of owning the card, then own the card. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe I'll start opening a pack at the end of every
That's not a bad idea.
episode. We go buy packs all the times, and like we bought these this last weekend, and I still have them sitting here, just haven't opened them.
Cool.
So,
All right. I gotta pee.
right. Sounds good. Well, thank you all so much for stopping by. This has been another episode of the Sam Music Beer Podcast. If you liked what you heard today, we will be back live better than ever next Wednesday here on Twitch. If you want to chat with me, YouTube. If you want to chat with Thomas, Thomas, any final words other than that you have to pee?
Eat more Chipotle.
Eat more Chipotle.
Yeah. Worth it.
I prefer Qdoba, but Mexican bowls. Eat more Mexican more Mexican in general.
Yeah, actually.
Mexican food, Mexican women.
You're right. Eat more
all of it.
Mexican.
Toodles.